Welcome to Creators Cafe. I'm your host, Jessica Payne. I'm a performer, performance coach, and multi-hyphenate creator. I'm going to be bringing you conversations with some of my favorite creators where we talk about the sublime and the specifics of the creative journey. So grab a drink, get cozy. Let's go. My guest is Jacob Smith, an audio expert who lives in Las Vegas and hails from Louisiana. Jacob is a dear friend, but we'll get into that in a second. If you've been to Vegas, there's a very good chance that you've heard a space that Jacob has set up the audio for, or might even be running right now. Jacob is the head of audio for Absinthe, one of the biggest and best shows in Vegas for years. It's at Caesar's Palace. It's incredible. Check it out. He's also done the audio for the same company's production of Rose Rabbit Lie and the burlesque show by Holly Madison called Peep Show, along with the Vegas residency of Spamalot. Jacob's work has been on Broadway, on tours, and all over Vegas. And he's the voice of 2 major podcasts as well. We'll get into all of that. And my favorite picture of myself is staring into the eyes of his dog at 3 a.m. after we just did a show together in Vegas. He's a delight. I was in his wedding. I can't express enough how much I adore this creator, Jacob Smith. Excellent. Okay. Welcome to season 2 of Creators Cafe, and I have my dear friend, Jacob Smith.
Woohoo!
You, my friend.
Here's to you, my love.
Yes. So I am drinking I have a brand new mug I got for my birthday. Good. Pumped. And I'm drinking an iced latte from Verve near me, and it is very exciting because I never get like syrup or sugar or anything, and they did it by accident. So I'm hyped up. It's exciting.
Ooh, yes. Very nice, very nice. I'm drinking it's an odd little concoction. It's mostly clear. It has ice in it, and that's it. It's a tumbler of vodka. It's definitely not water.
Very watered down whiskey.
Very watered down.
So you are drinking water.
I'm drinking water, but I live in the desert. I'm in the middle of the Mojave Desert. It's a desert out there. We have to drink water.
That's very wise. So Jacob, you're my first remote guest. This is very exciting.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, so you're based in Las Vegas, and you have been for a hot minute now.
We've been out here for a while now. We've been here 18 years now. We are desert rats. We are Vegas locals at this point. I don't know what else to call us. I mean, I'm originally from Louisiana. I love my southernness and everything, but I mean, I'm just a Vegas cat at this point.
Yeah, and you have both a hilarious life, which we'll go into because it's amazing, and also a very cool spot because you've got a gorgeous home out in the desert, and you've got this amazing koi pond, and just it's gorgeous. I love coming out there, and one of the best private whiskey collections in the country. I mean, so amazing.
It's really possible that it just is. It's kind of ridiculous. We bought this house and there was a giant bar in the main room. And I mean like a professional sized bar that you walk into and go oh, there's a bar. And so we kind of felt like we had to fill it up. So we really just did.
Incredible. And I don't drink a lot, but I will say when I come to visit you, the quality over quantity. It's just really, it's very cool and special, and I appreciate that you share.
That's so what I aim for that these days. I don't drink as much as I did when I was younger. I mean, who can?
Who can?
Yeah. But, I like to have, when I have a cocktail these days, I like for it to be a good one.
Yes, exactly. So if you've been in Vegas for 18 years, that means I've known you for longer than that.
Yep. Which is weird since we're both in our mid-20s.
I know. I just turned 30, so it's fine.
Yeah. That's true. You are much older than I am. I forget about that.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Cougar. Here we are.
Yes. You were in my wedding.
Jaguar? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. No, we've known each other long enough. I mean, you were a bridesmaid in my wedding.
Yes.
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
I will get your lovely wife on one of these days too when she's not killing it in Vegas.
She told me to tell you that she is not ignoring you. She's just trying to figure it out.
She's just very, very busy.
She's just in downtown all the time.
This one's about you, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we met at the California Theater Center.
That's
RIP,
right.
no longer exists, but it was
That's right.
this
Yeah, that's right.
unicorn of a job where we got to work as full-time artists in Silicon Valley, California, with like touring schedule, but also got to have an apartment and health insurance. It's insane.
Which was crazy.
Which was even crazy then. I think we met pre-iPhone, and then it was developed down the road from us. Yeah. So it was like a wild time to be there.
Yeah, I mean, we were a $10 cab ride from my apartment to like Apple and Google and Amazon and all of those. eBay. The eBay tower was right down the road from our house. Like, it was all crazy.
Yeah, it was a wild time to be there. So I'm glad we met there, and now you're killing it in Vegas.
Yep.
So, what was your kind of perceived career path when you first like got into theater, got into audio, maybe started your career, and then how has that shifted? Because you do so many things. It's really fascinating. We'll get into the details of it, but like, what did you first imagine, and then how has that shifted? I
definitely grew up assuming I was going to be a performer. There was just, it wasn't even a thought. It was just this is what is happening. It wasn't like, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to try and do this. It was, this is what I do. This is what I know how to do. This is what I will do. I'll just continue doing this. I'd been in theater my entire life. I'd, just all kinds of different things. And then when I went to college to be a performer. And I went to college, and about 17, 18 years old, right as I was starting college, I was not really enjoying being on stage anymore. I wasn't enjoying all of the other stuff, honestly. It was the being on stage part is the fun part, but it's all of the other stuff that leads up to the being on stage, as I'm sure, and I'm sure many of your listeners know. You know, the auditioning, the rehearsing, the hustling to try to just get people to notice you. And now I can't imagine what it is now, because that was all pre-social media and everything. I mean, if I wanted to get someone's attention, I just went up to him and talked to him and maybe handed him a resume or a headshot or something. Now, like, you have to have followers. You have to have, cred in various aspects of entertainment just to be considered. To be a musician or something and just working to get a gig, the first question that you get asked now is, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Because they're just wondering, like, if we book you to play this bar, how many people might you bring to watch you play in this bar that we can make money off of?
So you find that in Vegas too?
Oh, that's everywhere. Yeah. I think that's just everywhere. I think that's just what the life is now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because even stars will say, if the star is going to like delete their social media, the producers will say, well, okay, we'll still keep you on, but then your co-stars, the ensemble, needs to hit this number to move forward. So we can't cast the people that you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
No, it's crazy. And I'm really happy. I'm always just so happy that I didn't continue that path, because I think I would actually hate it now. I think I would just be wallowing in misery all the time. And it wouldn't matter how good or bad I was at it. I think I would just hate it. And honestly, like, I just wouldn't have kept doing it.
Well, and we'll talk later about how you've really kind of come full circle with Hey Scoops, and you're now, talking in front of a giant audience pretty regularly and performing. But so you are known as,
but definitely in my own path, definitely in my own way.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. And you found it is definitely a niche, which is, I think, part of why it's so successful.
Definitely.
But you also found a niche as an audio guy. So you're Jacob the audio guy.
That's right.
And I know how talented you are at, some people are super tasters. You are a super hearer.
I can hear a lot, yeah.
That talent, that discernment, that sensitivity, has that been natural? Did you train that? Was it just over time?
Honestly, I give it credit to everything I was just saying a second ago. I give the credit to the fact that I grew up on the stage. I grew up doing the other side of it. And so I know what that is. I know what singers, I know what performers are looking for when they're on stage, as far as what they need to hear to make them the best that they can be. You have so many. For instance, something that always comes up with any sound people is monitoring for like a singer. So you have a singer on stage, you have all the speakers that are pointing out the audience is listening to, and then you have the speakers or the in-ear monitors for the singer to hear what they need to hear to do the job. And I can listen to the feed of everything, and I'm pretty good at picking out the stuff that I go, I bet the singer is going to want to hear this, I bet they're going to want to hear this, I bet they're going to want to hear this, and they're going to want to hear them at these levels. And it's not something that's pleasant to listen to. It's very much just a working mix. It is something that gives that singer, maybe the keyboard has the melody on their right hand, and I just want to feed that right hand into the singer's ear just so they have the melody in their head while they're going through it. I can do all that kind of stuff. It's honestly not terribly interesting until you're kind of in the middle of it, and then you realize it's not interesting to talk about, but it's really neat to do. And it's kind of its own little art form. I mean, it is its own weird little mix that nobody else hears. But when you do it right, it means that everybody else is hearing kind of the best version of what they're able to do.
Yeah, that's very cool. And that means that the performance that's happening, people have no idea what's happening behind the scenes.
No.
But it couldn't be at the level it's at if you weren't doing that excellent job.
That's right.
Yeah. It's one of those hidden skills.
Yeah.
That we rely on but don't know.
Right. And nobody knows what we do. Nobody knows what the sound guy is doing back there, and that's the best.
Yes, right. You're mysterious.
People come back and they're like, hey, I don't hear enough of this. Could you do something about that? And you go like, yeah. Oh. And then you just do it. And then they go, wait, how did you? Don't worry. It's fine. It's boring. It's stupid. Don't worry about it.
It sounds like you're just making sure you have a job. But hey,
yeah.
Congratulations. You're good at it.
Certainly that too. But it is just genuinely stupid and boring as well.
Okay, so right now your main gig is you are running the audio for Absinthe, which is the top show in Vegas. How did you get there, and what do you love about it?
So I've been with that company, which is called Spiegel World. They run the show Absinthe at Caesar's Palace. They have a couple other shows in Las Vegas. They have a show in Atlantic City called The Hook. That is on the boardwalk there in Atlantic City. They have another show that's they're working on now. They're in creation now to put a show in New Orleans. They have another show opening up in Las Vegas. I think they had their first dress rehearsal yesterday. So I mean, they're a busy company, but our flagship show is Absinthe at Caesar's Palace. It's in a giant circus tent right there on the side of the road, right in front of Caesar's Palace. And it's just great. I mean, it's literally on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo. So, I mean, it's, the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, famously an early casino there. Caesar's Palace, of course, has its own stuff. It's across the street from the fountains at Bellagio. I mean, we're just right in the middle of everything. And I love it. It's just so great. I've worked all over the country. I mean, I guess I've worked in many places all over the world, but I've worked all over the country, mainly doing theater. And then about 12 years ago, I started working with this circus company, and I've been doing a lot of circus since then. And boy, is it different from what I knew how to do before, and boy, is it a lot of fun.
What do you like about it more than theater?
It's different every night. Every show is different.
Because the acts are actually like swapping out. It's
the acts shift around, but also there's all of the, because our show relies very heavily on comedy. We have our hosts that are very funny. They mess with the audience. There's audience participation. There's all this stuff that truly does make it different every single time. Even if we have acts in it that are the same from show to show, that's great. And we have people who are the best at what they do in the entire world. I mean, we have acts that I still see them. These are people that I know very well, and I still see them do what they do, and it's amazing. It's impressive every single time, and they're truly just the best in the world at what they do. And then we just have all of this wonderful comedy. We're fortunate. We're like I say, we're in the middle of the Strip. We're in the middle of everything. We have a good reputation. The show has been there, I think, 14 years now. So we have good word of mouth. We have all that good stuff going for us. But honestly, it's a little different every time. Sometimes it's really different. Sometimes things go wrong. That can be fun too.
Yeah.
It's just a really good time.
Yeah, especially because you've got the mix of like Vegas comedy
Yep.
performed with people from all around the world
Oh,
who
yeah.
are probably drunk, who are sitting feet away from people who are doing literally death-defying acts.
Oh, yeah.
That are highly skilled. So it's like high stakes emotionally and
Yep.
high stakes physically.
Oh, certainly.
What's it like to be part of that?
It is. It's a rush. It's a high. And sometimes it crashes down. Sometimes if you do have something go wrong, you do have that crash and everything. And it's a reminder when that happens. It's a good reminder for us. And it's a reminder to the audience that what they're seeing is real. We're not faking anything. A guy comes out and stacks all of these chairs up on top of each other and makes a giant tower that he climbs up on top of and then does acrobatic feats on top of a stack of chairs that are just balanced on each other. And that's one that people ask me all the time. They go, how do the chairs, when he sets an additional chair on the tower, how does that lock in? What is the mechanism that locks that chair in? I'd say there's not one.
It's just chairs.
It looks like he's balancing chairs on top of each other, and then he gets on top of them and balances on them. That's just what he's doing. The thing that it looks like it is, that's what it is. There's not a magic trick to it. He's just learned how to do this over decades and can do it.
Yeah. So when you're mixing a show like that, are you doing a live mix that responds to the audience?
Oh,
and
sure.
Does the audio change every day? Are you doing music and vocals? How does that work from your side?
Yes to all of that.
Okay.
We're doing all those things. We're definitely adjusting to the audience all the time. We're adjusting to the comedy. We're adjusting to what we think the flow of the show kind of needs to sound like. I'm getting a phone call that I don't care about. Great. We're adjusting to phone calls. We're adjusting to all kinds of things.
Always.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a constant. I mean, it's live theater. It's live circus. It's live theater. Even the stuff that's supposed to be the same is never the same.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
On your path to get there, I know you did another show with Spiegel World that I really enjoyed as well. The Rose Rabbit Lie.
That's right.
That was really cool. And you had done Spamalot in Vegas.
Yep.
And you had done many touring shows that I know you're a part of.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All the shows.
If we want to get into the resume, it's a very long, boring resume. I'd rather talk to you about the qualities of all the sound and everything.
You're like, let's talk about the boring stuff.
I think in 18 years in Las Vegas, I think I've done like 150 shows.
I was just gonna say it's more that it's the quantity, the quality may be low, but
yeah, some of them are real low. Some of the quality is shockingly low.
Unlike the whiskey, we're focused on quantity here.
Yes. There's just been a lot of them. It does. You learn a little something from each one. You take that along to the next one. And after you've done just a lot of shows, you kind of get to the point where I've discovered as I've gotten older that being an expert in something is just somebody who's seen more things than somebody else and is ready for those contingencies. Like, hey, this happened. Well, for instance, this last week at Absinthe, I was in the middle of a show, an act is on stage, and all of a sudden the computer that runs all of the tracks for this person's act just quit. Sometimes computers quit. Happened to me.
Yep.
And this computer just quit in the middle of the act. We run backups. We have all that kind of stuff ready to go. So as soon as it quit, I'll look over at my screen. I see that the monitor is showing me what it's showing me. I reach down, I hit a switch button that switches the entire system over to the backup system that's running continuously behind the main system. And so we were out of audio for maybe a second and a half or 2 seconds. And we didn't have to stop the show. The act just continued on with just a glitch of silence in the middle of it. And that performer comes up to me after the show and goes, "Hey, what was that?" And I told him. He was like, "Oh, well, it was a quick switch."
That's fantastic.
And it's only because I've done it a lot of times. It's not my first time having a computer go out during the show. it's none of that. And people are going, oh, you were so quick at that. And, thank you. I am good at it. But at the same time, it's happened to me before, and I'm always a little ready for it. And so there's not that moment of panic. I don't have to recompose myself after it all happens. It just happens. I hit the button. We're moving on. I'm already talking to the headset. I go like, yeah, we're on the backup computer now. If we lose the backup computer, we've got a problem. There's no reason that we'll lose the backup computer, though. Let's go.
Great. That's incredible. Good.
Yeah. I mean, it really is just I've done it. They talk about experience. They talk about these things. It's just, I've done this thing. And so there's a part of my brain that knows that I know how to do it. So when you have that moment where you go like, oh, can I do this? Like, here's a new thing. Can I do this? After you've done it a bunch of times, you don't have that feeling anymore. And we all know how that is. And this is just the stupid thing that I've done a bunch of times.
I was on one tour with the company that we both worked for the year after you left, where twice on our tour of Cinderella, the power in the theater went out at two different theaters in two different states.
Okay.
And so the first one, it was a lovely day. We went outside and we took the whole audience outside and we just did it as environmental theater.
Perfect.
Which was super fun, except it also had musical numbers. So it
presented some challenges.
Exactly. And then the other one was like a 2,000 seat theater and just the audio went out. And so somebody found like a giant 90s boombox and put it on stage. And so we just did our best.
Yeah. You're just on stage yelling at 2,000 children.
Exactly. So it's once you've done those things, you realize like, okay, it's fine. No one's hurt. It's fine.
It. The worst case, I always, there's always the old saying in show business, the show must go on. It is a saying that I hate more than anything. It's nothing we're doing is that important. We don't have to go on. If we cancel the show, all these shows in Vegas, all these big hairy deal shows in Vegas. Kelly Clarkson was supposed to do a show this last weekend. She canceled at the last minute. She canceled like 2.5 hours before showtime for the whole weekend. People are already in town. People have traveled from all over the world to see this. It's like a 6,000 seat venue. So last minute she cancels. That's probably about the worst thing that can happen to an audience member going to see a show. You fly in from, say, London. I've flown from London to Las Vegas because I am a giant Kelly Clarkson fan, and so I want to be there on her opening night in Las Vegas. I mean, that just happened. I don't know that happened. I don't know anybody that happened to. I bet all my money that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like somebody from London flew in just to see that show. They got there, they landed, and they found out that the show wasn't happening. That's worst case scenario. So that person, the worst thing that happened to them in show business, that can happen to them in show business, happened. And they went and had dinner 2 hours earlier than they would have otherwise.
And probably got their money back and went to see Absinthe.
They came and saw Absinthe. They came and saw, our social media people, they're great at that stuff. If somebody cancels, all of a sudden our social media is inundated with, you're not seeing Kelly Clarkson? You should come see Absinthe.
That's hilarious. That's really smart and savvy to be on that so fast.
A couple of years ago, Adele did the same thing. It was much more dramatic, and there was a longer cancellation. She canceled like the whole run, and there was a bigger deal. This was like Kelly canceled, I believe, illness. I don't think it was anything dramatic. And I'm sure she'll make good on him. But yeah, Adele canceled, and it was a whole bigger thing. And it was some of the social media posts. I was like, y'all are just being mean now. Y'all are just going after poor Adele.
She's a nice person. She's clearly trying.
I'm sure she's fine. I don't know the woman. I'm sure she's just trying to do a show. I'm sure she said the show wasn't happening too.
Quick detour. You've met lots of celebrities. Who are some faves?
Let's see. Probably. One of the nicest people that I've met that your audience would know would be Celine Dion. She's just one of the, people talk about her. She's just the nicest person in show business. Absolutely. Just absolutely true. She's always just lovely. A lot of pro wrestlers fall into that same category as well, actually. When pro wrestlers show up at things, they're always delightful. I don't know what it is about their profession that just creates delightful people, but they do. So like these 7.5 foot giant people will come walking in and they're just sweethearts.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Mick Foley showed up at our show the other night, a couple of weeks. Oh, it was during WrestleMania. We had WrestleMania in Las Vegas, and so we had a lot of wrestlers in and around during that. But Mick Foley showed up, and like he's hanging out with everybody. He's just shooting the shit. He's having a good time, just telling war stories and everything. It just a delight. There was another pro wrestler that showed up. I think at the time he was the like physically largest person in WWE. I forget what his name is. I'm sorry. But he was just a giant person. And and they're just walking. I've got pictures with like me and Jake the Snake Roberts where we're just flipping off the camera. You know, all these silly things. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, most celebrities, it'd be much easier for me to name off different celebrities that I think are assholes.
Yeah.
Because the number is so small. Most people,
great.
That's it. And, I mean, if you think about it, it takes, I mean, just in our careers, we've had so many people help us in different ways over the course of our careers. You know, imagine if our careers were 100 times bigger than they are now. Imagine how many more people have to help you get to that point. And if you're an asshole, you probably have fewer people that are willing to help you. Can I say asshole on your show? I'm sorry.
100%.
Great. Good.
Yes.
But yeah,
if you don't get to be one, except for like the fun kind, but you can say it.
That's it. But yeah, if you have that desire, if you have that, if you have the skill set, that'll take you so far, and then like being nice to people and having people want to help you. I mean, that takes you the rest of the way. That's the oftentimes the big push over the edge. And the result is, in my experience, is that most celebrities are just very nice people and are good at what they do and they're hard workers.
Yeah.
Which is the boring answer for the celebrities when people want to hear about asshole celebrities. But I don't know. Some of them are assholes. Steven Seagal's a big asshole. I met him a couple times. He's always an asshole. Chris Angel's a jerk. I don't know what to tell you.
That tracks.
It's a short list of the jerks.
That's pretty nice, actually, because I think we hear the horror stories, so it's always good when you get the opposite perspective.
Yeah.
And I want to say you're a an icon for me when I think about how to build a career where you take your work very seriously and yourself very silly. And you are so talented at your skill set and you take what you do very seriously. And like you were talking about with Absinthe, like there's people who are up in the air and like their life is in danger while you're doing your job. And there's like some real stakes happening. But at the same time, you are very good about letting the stress go, letting the bullshit go, and just like living in the moment and then being silly. And I think that we all could use a lot more of that right now.
Yeah, I've tried. I try really hard at it. One of the I'll make the shift. I do podcasts as well.
That was obviously where I was going next.
Yeah.
But let's take it there.
So one of the shows that I produce is a show called Pod Therapy, and that's it's a show. I'm just the comedian in the middle. There are three licensed working healthcare professionals, mental healthcare professionals that are the hosts on the show. It's Jim, Nick, and Whitney. They're all fantastic. They work in different aspects of mental health care, from owning their own practices. Nick works with the state overseeing mental health care services throughout the state of Nevada. Whitney and Jim both work in private practice, but they've all worked all over the place in mental health care. You know, they've worked in drug addiction rehab facilities. They've worked with children in child care facilities, all these types of things. So they just have tons of experience in that world. And doing that show, I've been doing that show with them, I think, for 8 years now, just about. And, I'm just the guy in the middle, while they're talking about very serious things, I'm just the guy that breaks it up. I make silly jokes in the middle, oftentimes very inappropriate jokes based on the material that we're talking about, which is oftentimes, of course, very serious because people, it's a write-in show. I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm a bad podcaster. People write into that show with their problems, things that they want the host to talk about. And, not many people write into a mental health show about their best day. It's always a letter about their worst day.
Yeah.
Or about the worst thing that's happening to them right then.
and you're the color commentary to lighten that up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you get done talking about like abuse or neglect or death or, all kinds of horrible things. And I'm the one just there going like, well, I hope you didn't get that parent something that they had to enjoy for a long time for Christmas this year since they're going to die. Sorry, I don't know what to tell. I'm just making off-color jokes. And honestly, my own formula for it is the more serious it is, the more off-color I kind of try to be, or the more off color I kind of allow myself to get with it, because I want to swing it back. I want to keep the energy of the show kind of in a swirling pattern. I don't want it to just go straight forward with sadness and hardship, because that's hard for the listener to listen to. I'm there. I'm trying to listen as the every person listener out there, and so when I feel it starting to get a little draggy, that's when I know, like, I don't even think about it. Like, I feel the drag start, and I'll say something stupid.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter what the stupid thing is. I just need to break that rhythm. I just need to break the energy of it, because it's tough to listen. That show's a 90-minute show. It's an hour to 90 minutes. And, it's tough to listen to that for an hour and just go through everybody's worst day.
And if you want somebody to be helped out of it, they have to be willing to listen to it first. So you have to make it something that's approachable and fun, and
that's right,
something that we're willing to go along with the ride for.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to be there, because our goal on that show is to normalize mental health care and normalize talking about mental health care. It's a silly thing that I've always thought it's a silly thing that we, as a society, don't really talk about it very much, because it is just a part of healthcare. Your brain, sometimes your brain fucks up the same way sometimes your heart fucks up, the same way sometimes your lungs fuck up. Your body organs just fuck up sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. And I don't mind to. My head fucks up all the time. And you go like, oh, well, that's a weird little glitch that just happened. Let's have a look at it and make sure that it's okay.
Yeah.
And so our goal is really to truly just normalize that, and just say, like, why are we making a big deal out of this? If somebody, if the chemicals in your brain are a little off balance and you need to take a pill to make yourself live a happier and more fulfilled life, why wouldn't you take that pill?
Agreed. 100%. Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Why should that be a big deal? Why should that be something to be embarrassed about? Like, same way, like, I took a pill before we started today for my cholesterol. Why would I treat my brain any different?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I started taking Adderall 2 years ago, and it's been life-changing, honestly. Just the difference of being able to take care of something that was not working and make it work. It's night and day for me.
I mean, if you're having those issues out there, you don't have to continue with them. There's stuff to do for it. And even if you can't get it, because I know sometimes it's hard to get in to see a therapist or a psychiatrist. I mean, your primary physician, they can help you with it. They're empowered to help you with those types of things. Clinics, all of the online healthcare stuff, the Better Health, all those kinds of things. I'm always a little trepidatious about them, just because of the layout and the natural challenges that come along with those. I know my therapist friends, they're always a little hesitant about those. But if that's what you got, that's what you got, and that's what you're going to use to make things better. And find those tools, work on them, use them. All the hotlines out there, all the things. I'd encourage everybody to just dig into them. If you're having a bad time, you don't have to continue having this bad time. You can do the work on it, and things can get better. Things can get a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to remember that when you're in the valley, that you're not always going to be in the valley, and there's people that want to help you get out of it.
Oh, there's all kinds of people that want to help all of us out of it, and they because they want you to be there, they want you to be around, and they want you to be happy.
Yeah. So your other podcast,
that's the serious one. So that's the serious podcast. That's I call that one my community service. That's my community service. We do that every week, and that's the one that helps people out. That is Pod Therapy. Tune in. It's a great show. The other one is Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social.
Which I will say also can help people out of the valley.
Sure. We're just ridiculous.
In a very different way.
Yes.
So in that one, it is two comedians who are friends and who are just, it's kind of the Seinfeld of podcasts. Like, it's not about anything and it's ridiculous, but it's
People ask me what it's about all the time. Like, we're just trying to be funny. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's kind of had this wild success over the years. And you host meetups where lots of people will come into town. And
Scoop Fest coming up in September.
Yes.
So the show is Ice Cream Social. The full name is Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social. If you just do a search for Ice Cream Social on all your podcast stuff, I think we're still the first thing that pops up. Every now and then somebody rips off our name and somebody else pops up first for a couple of months. We never worry about it because they go away. They don't last. We've been doing this show 12 years. We've been doing this show longer than most people knew what podcasts were. In the early days, if you wanted to tell somebody to listen to your podcast, the first thing you had to do was explain to them what a podcast was. We are out of those woods now. I got really good at explaining what internet radio was to people for a long time. And now I just say, like, I've got a podcast. It's funny, it's fun, it's silly. Take a listen to it. We're primarily an audio podcast, although we are switching back over to a video format. We just we're in the middle of swapping studios around, and so we're moving back to our old video format and everything, which I'm excited about to be back on there. I like having the live chats and everything going during the shows. I like hearing from the listeners while we're recording. That's always a lot of fun. So we have a great time with that. It's like you say, it's myself and it's two improvisational comedians. Matt Donnelly was with the Upright Citizens Brigade for many years, and he started the Pit Improv Theater in New York City. And then Paul Mattingly worked with Second City out of Chicago in Las Vegas. When Second City had a stopover in Las Vegas, he was in the main cast on that. He also did the Second City cruise ships. So, I mean, both of these cats have been doing improv shows for decades. And they've been comedy partners now for 16 years, somewhere in there. And then I got scooped up with these guys, pun intended. I got scooped up with these guys a few years into their kind of partnership, and we started doing this podcast. Well, technically, they started doing the podcast without me. They did the first 4 episodes without me, and then the 3 of us got together and did the other, 1,600, 1,700.
Wow.
There's a lot of material of. If you want to hear my voice online, it's just easy.
Thousands.
So many hours.
It is definitely an exploration of the concept in improv of yes and. Because it's, we've got an hour of just yes and, yes and, yes and. But it's great because what you're talking about, whatever is going on in the world and how it impacts you, how it impacts the people in your world, but it's through the lens of improv comedy and just friends hanging out and just being ridiculous.
Absolutely. It's all, and a bit through Vegas entertainment. A bit through just the lens of Vegas entertainment. We're all, Paul no longer lives in Las Vegas, so we bring him in virtually now. He's out in Pittsburgh these days. But the other two of us, we're in Las Vegas. Matt is the writer for Penn and Teller. Speaking of celebrities' names to drop, Matt's the writer for Penn and Teller. So that's a big part of that organization. It's just great. It's wonderful. I have my little notepad that I just keep going on my phone all the time. Anytime I see something funny, I just try to make a little note of it to write it down to remember. This will be a good little 6-minute hunk on the show. This will open the B segment nicely when we're out of other things to talk about on the B segment. I just pulled up my notes over here. I wrote down one the other day. Streets of Las Vegas. I take a walk almost every day, just up and down the Strip. Usually between rehearsals and a show, I'll have an hour, half hour to an hour break between things, and so I like just going and walking on the Las Vegas Strip. The people watching is second to none. It's fantastic. The people you see every single day. I see just in a 20-minute walk, I'll see 20 different people that are just fascinating, and not like. It's not me being artsy and saying like, oh, that person is fascinating eating a hamburger there, sitting at that outdoor table. I'm not doing that. What I'm talking about is the person that I saw the other day. I wrote down this entire description. I will read it to you.
Yes.
Saw a man walking down the street wearing no shoes, mismatched ankle socks, a pair of Super Mario Brother boxer briefs, a tank top that he had pulled one arm out of, so he had one arm through the head hole of the tank top. So he had like an off-the-shoulder tank top thing working on there. And he had a single blue boxing glove on his left hand. And he was
Thank
walking
you for painting
down
that picture.
He was walking down the street. You know how when you see a person that is maybe a little off walking down the street, they have kind of a manner about them that kind of tells your lizard brain, maybe stay away from this person. This person is not all there in a variety of ways. You see that person walking. This person did not have that walk. This person had the walk of a business person walking down the street to their next appointment. It was, I walked behind this person for 5 minutes, just trying to figure out what was going on. I was like, this guy has a story, and I wish I were brave enough to walk up to him and ask him what it is. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm a little scared of this guy too. I don't really want to. I don't want to talk to this person in this scenario. But boy, I wish I could.
Yeah. Your lizard brain is doing its job still. Right. Yes. Don't engage.
No. I don't want to get in a fight with this person who is probably not entirely there and entirely put together. But at the same time, I want to. I just want to.
I would like to know the story.
Yeah.
I live on the Sunset Strip, so I also can go on a walk, and it is fascinating.
It's wonderful. And people talk about it. And I don't know how it is in LA these days, but Vegas locals, I feel like locals in most tourist areas always have a love-hate relationship with the tourists. And I just get so aggravated by that, because I go, like, these people are paying all of us. Let's just leave them alone. Let's just enjoy everything and have a good time together, and let's celebrate the fact that we're surviving by having a weird symbiotic relationship in a giant gambling mecca in the desert. This is just a dumb thing that we're all doing. Let's just enjoy that.
I go for a walk in it. I walk between the London hotel where people are doing like shishi events and film viewings and everything, and then the Viper Room where we've got like hardcore like metalheads from the 90s. Yeah. And they're like sharing the same parking lot, and it makes me very happy.
And to walk past, and to walk between them, it's like, here are all these different crackheads. Here's like all these different people doing all kinds of things for various moral standards for money, and all these. It's great. I love it.
And I'm like walking in my PJs for like, at like 11 at night, and they're like starting their night. I love it. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's great. I love it so much. I love the funny tourists. I love the funny situations. I love all of it.
So from a technical standpoint, when you're doing the podcast, since you do so many, what kind of format do you lean on when you're talking about the B segment? What are you looking for when the three of you go in to record? Do you have a plan? Do you have a sketch? Do you just throw topics in a hat? How does that work?
For Ice Cream Social, we have a loose, the word loose is doing heavy lifting here. We have a loose structure.
Okay.
Basically, our loose structure is, because we're a 90-minute show, we're going to start the show. The first 20 minutes is going to be whatever bullshit the three of us have to talk about. And we might get through part of one topic. We might get through 10 topics. We have no idea. But like we all have different things. We don't do any kind of pre-show. We literally just sit down and like say, hey, how you doing? And we hit record. Like that, we don't know what anybody else is bringing to the table, unless one of us obviously stops beforehand and goes like, hey, a segment today, we have to hit this thing. Like if we have an ad that we have to, or we have something we want to push that's time dependent or something like that. But that's really about it. So we'll have that little A block, and then we have our first ad break. I try to put the first ad right around the 20-minute mark of the show, and we do a fun thing with our ads. Because we have your regular free podcast subscription that everybody can get on their podcast app. We also do a RSS feed that goes out through our Patreon. We have a great Patreon base that financially supports the show and subscribes to the show monetarily. Those people get an ad-free version of the show. But we still have to throw 2 commercials in the show. And so we had the idea to start just improving fake ads in those spots.
That just the Patreons get.
Everybody hears them, but it's hilarious the 2 ways that you can hear them. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, we'll get to that 20-minute mark, and I'm the one that usually does the throw to the ads. And I will throw to the ads, usually tying it into something we were just talking about. And what we were just talking about could be ridiculous, and it could be anything. So it could be like I think I had a throw to an ad this last week that was like, you know who else is going to kidnap children? The following sponsor. And when you're listening to it on the Patreon RSS feed, you'll just hear us go straight into our weird improv ad. And the Patreon supporters can also make suggestions. And so we have a random generator of suggestions that they have made, and they put their suggestions into a big hopper. And then a little random generator just spits out one of the suggestions that they have made over the years. And, it'll be an ad for, some ridiculously named thing. So it'd be like, Jessica's Jell-O that she, I don't know, jumps in. I don't know. It might be an alliterative thing. But, Jessica's Jell-O that she jumps in. And then there will be a whole, usually not terribly PG rated ad that gets that we make up, and hilarity ensues, hopefully. And then we cut to the end of the ad. So that's what you hear on the Patreon feed. What you hear on the real feed is you hear me say, you know who else likes to abduct children? The following sponsor. And then a real ad comes on for like Mercedes. And I love incredible. That. I've been waiting for somebody to yell at me about this for years, and nobody cares.
Wow.
Which is like I purposely throw to the ads in the worst ways I can, and nobody gives a shit.
Wow. Wow.
And then, so like if you're listening on the regular feed, you'll hear the ad from Mercedes, and then you'll hear our silly made-up comedy ad, and then you go on with the show. And then we have a little B block there. The B block is the short block of the show. That's where oftentimes I'll try to have something queued up and ready to go for the B block if we're not going to continue on with the same topic from the A block, because that's just a little 15-minute block before the next ad happens. Then we're done with the ads. We have a pre-show ad, a post-show ad, and then 2 in the middle. And we try to keep the ads to a minimum in our show. And then we have usually kind of a C block at that point. That C block can involve a couple of different things. That's the real amorphous block in the show. If we have a guest, that's going to be just more time with the guest that we're going to spend there. If we don't have a guest, but we have something that we're really leaning into and really enjoying talking about, we'll just keep bulldozing through with that. But what that segment really is for is listener mail. And so we'll do listener mail. We'll respond to that. And then we have a game that we play at the end of the show. We call it Jock versus Nerd, which is basically the 3 of us have very different expertise in life. Matt is a big sports fan. Paul is a big sci-fi fan. I'm somewhere in the middle. And then our listeners create different trivia games. We have all these forms on our website, heyscoops.com. You can go there. You can make all of these different games. We have a Scooperty game, which is just a ripoff of a Jeopardy game. We have there's an obelisk game, which is kind of like the old $50,000 pyramid or whatever the number was, where each question was an increasing point value and all that kind of stuff. And you can steal points and you can do all that kind of stuff. We have Price is Right, which is all number answers, closest without going over type answers, Price is Right rules. We have all these different silly games that we've invented and listeners have invented, and listeners are always inventing new games and sending them to us. And so we do that, and we do our plugs. We thank our listeners. We thank our Patreon supporters by name, and we do all those kinds of things. And we're done with the show. And then we do another one. We do them twice a week, every week. So we do however many of that show that comes out to, we do that. We've done that every year for
about
104
years.
Yeah.
Times 12.
Yeah.
And
I think
I know.
What are we at?
I know you were at episode, I think 1224 was most recent.
That sounds about right. Let's see. Oh yeah, nailed it. 1224. Yeah, you know. Oh, the title of that episode was A Net Full of Jello.
Oh, that's where Jessica's Jello came from.
That must be it. Yeah, it was just in my head.
Nice.
I forget why we started picking on a net full of Jello in that episode, but we did, and it's a net full of Jello.
Yes, and.
Yeah. Who can say?
How has your experience been as somebody who's coming from like the theater world, which is pretty standard? Mm-hmm. There is a show, you have a project, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, to moving into this world where you go from like just having a normal paycheck for doing a gig to the mix of Absinthe, which is a show that's been running for a very long time and is doing very well, plus the podcasts, which are ongoing and have this element of, we've got the Patreon, but we also have ads. Mm-hmm. What's that mix like? What do you like about it? What's challenging for you?
It's exhausting is what it's like.
Yeah.
It's just having two full-time jobs.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. It is hard. You know, it's hard getting... Yeah, we pride ourselves. You know, like I said, we've been doing Ice Cream Social for 12 years. We've never missed an episode. You know, every week we've put out at least 2 episodes every week, sometimes more. Sometimes there are bonus episodes. Sometimes there's all kinds of reasons that we put out more episodes over the years. But, you know, we always make sure to hit that 2 episode a week mark. We're going to give you 3 hours of content every single week, no matter what. And we do it because we kind of look at it and say, like, people are in a weird way depending on it.
Yeah.
You know, we get letters, you know, we get many emails every week, and many, you know, a lot of all the social media interaction and everything, all that kind of stuff that you'd expect. And, you know, people talk about how, you know, long haul truck drivers write in and say, you know, when I'm on the road, this is great because I know that, like, I'm going to be on the road for 12 hours over these couple of days here. But I've been saving up. I've got 3 of your episodes saved up. So I've got, you know, a good 5 hours or so just ready to go.
Wow.
So I'm, like half of my road trip this week, I'm set because I've got 3 of your episodes saved up because I knew I was doing this road trip. We get similar correspondence from our service members stationed overseas. You know, we get all of that. That's always a very, very sweet and very emotional when we get those emails. Do I have one here? Oh, I do. People send. Do you know challenge coins in the military and in like police and firemen and all that kind of stuff? So challenge coins they're usually about the size of a poker chip, maybe a little bit bigger. Here's one right here from somebody sent me this one. This one is. I don't know what this is. Oh, this one might even be a joke one. I don't know. But somebody sent me this one. But this is kind of what they look like. And they're usually metal. And they're called challenge coins because if you see somebody, so like if you and I are in the same branch of military service, and I see you in a bar, I might come up to you and I might pull out my challenge coin and drop it down on the bar. And that's the challenge. And then if you have your challenge, you better have your challenge coin on you because you have to meet the challenge. You have to put your challenge coin on the bar. And if that happens, my understanding of it is, I'm probably wrong. I'm sure your listeners will correct me. But my understanding of it is the person who made the challenge initially, well, because their challenge was met and answered, they have to buy the other person a drink. Well, if you don't have your coin, now you owe me a drink. You lost the challenge, you owe me a drink. So that's kind of the basic idea of it. But they're very special in the realm of the military and our first responders. And so people are often kind enough to send us their challenge coins in the mail, which is always very touching. I literally have like a shoebox filled with them.
Wow.
It's such a neat thing, and they're always personalized. They're always very cool. So you know we get things like that, and that's the kind of thing that makes us keep doing it. You know, we enjoy it. We really like doing it. It's a lot of fun. But people seem to like it, and it seems to mean something to people. You know, we're very lucky with that show. A community just grew up around us, and there is a wonderful community. We call our listeners the Scoops, and the Scoop community is fantastic. I don't know what your experience is online, Jess, but when you get on social media and everything, people talk to me about how awful it is on social media and just the doom scrolling and everything. I happily and proudly live in a little bubble. I have my little online bubble of the scoops, and boy, it's just pleasant. We tell people, we say, we're going to say wrong things all the time. I am an idiot. I say stupid things all the time.
I mean, you're a very smart idiot, but
Fine, but I'm still an idiot.
Understand.
I
understand.
Yeah. I say stupid things all the time. I'm like, correct me. Just be nice to me. Just don't be mean to me when you don't call me an asshole when you're correcting me.
Yeah.
Just say like, hey, you're wrong about this thing, and I'm real happy to say when I'm wrong about something on a show.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. I think I got off target a little bit because you were asking about kind of how the shows are put together with the different segments, and I was going to give you my real answer. So that's the real kind of basic rhythm of the whole show. My real answer is I always have in my head a kind of a rhythm that I want the shows to be progressing at. And so my goal is to always just kind of be on that rhythm. So if that is filling silence in a dead moment or just making sure that we have the kind of the right order of things lined up, that's always my goal. And I know that's not a great answer, but that is kind of how my brain works around it. I'm always kind of putting it together. Same thing with a show, same thing with a song. I always want that rhythm of everything to be correct.
Well, and it sounds like you have a 3-act structure that has act breaks in it, and there's kind of the mini crescendo and decrescendo after the climax, and it just has that structure that then within it you improvise and you really function as kind of a conductor and the color commentary that comes in while you're improvising and fills those silences and moves the conversation where you want it to go next.
And we all, I can't take all credit for that. I definitely do that. But we all do that to some degree, that responsibility. We've been, that show especially, we've been doing it long enough. We all know what it's supposed to be. We can all do it.
Comfortable. And I'm sure that's why it means so much to people, because it feels like as the audience, you're the fourth friend. You're like the new kid that is allowed to hang out with 3 good friends.
Absolutely.
That are just funnier than you are.
Yeah.
And so it's creates a really cool community because of that.
It does. And speaking of the community, we have Scoop Fest coming up in September. Yeah. And that's our big Vegas get together. We do that every 15 months. We usually do between those 15-month dates, we usually do an event somewhere else around the country. We've been trying to get some international stuff together. We really want to do Australia. There's a few places internationally that are high on the list. A lot of scoops there, and a lot of like Australia is our number 2 market, so we want to go to Australia. Yeah, but yeah, it's really great. It's a lot of fun.
I saw something about Hey Scoops the movie. Is that
there is a documentary being put together?
I thought so. What's happening with that?
I don't know much about it. We're being kept in the dark on a lot of it because a lot of it. I mean, it's obviously we're in it, but like our wives are being interviewed for it. Scoops are being interviewed for it. People in the Scoop community are being interviewed for it. It's not a documentary about us. It's a documentary about the entire group.
Wow.
So obviously we're a big part of it, but the documentary is definitely about the show and about the audience interaction with the show more than it is about us being a part of the show. It's not just another documentary about like, oh, here's some stupid hacks that have a show that they put together, and now we have to watch a documentary about it. This is really about the audience's interaction with us, our interaction with them, and most importantly, their interaction with each other.
Yeah, the community that's really developed.
Absolutely.
In multiple places, too. It's not like, I feel like there's sometimes where it's just, there's one Facebook group or one, whatever it is, place that people interact. What I'm so impressed by is there's an in-person component, and there's the Reddit component, and they're just, it's
there,
like once
there
you're
are
part
Discords,
of the
there are
community,
Facebook groups.
In it.
There are Insta pages, there are all these different things. And I'm not being vague about them. I don't know what they are because I'm not part of them. I'm not a listener to the show. I'm a host on the show. So I interact as a host with people when they want to interact with me. But, it always feels a little odd interacting in those forums because they're just not for me. I'm literally one of the 3 people on the planet that forum is not made for.
Yeah, that's wild.
But I mean,
That's
but
cool.
they do. Then they have, they have the Scoop group is the big group on Facebook. That's their big one, and that has all these different branches on it. So they have online communities for maker scoops, for instance, where it's just people who make crafts or make products that they sell. Anything. Wow. So it's, those people are on there talking about different things. There are mental health groups on there. There are job search groups on there. I mean, it's its own fully fleshed out community just in a weird little niche spot in the middle of the internet.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And we can't take credit for it. I don't know. Well, people ask us how we did it, and we didn't. It happened around us, and we fostered it. We wanted it. We saw that it was happening and wanted it to happen. But because we're not big celebrities. We are whatever our celebrity is. It is the size of our celebrity is directly related to the size of the show. We're not celebrities coming in and doing a show. We have a show, and people know us from that. That's it.
Yeah.
Whereas,
well,
obviously,
it's cool to me because it feels like the natural outgrowth of your other podcast that's talking about the ideas for mental health. Mm-hmm. This is actually kind of putting it into action because it's sitting around with people that you care about and talking about what's going on in life with them, and then creating a community of people that relate to that and who have shared interests. And that's just a natural outgrowth. Absolutely. And that speaks to how well the 3 of you support each other, even in all the bullshittery. There's like the heart is there. Which is a real big deal.
For sure. And we try to just be a real group of people talking about real things. And sometimes it's heavy. Sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes it's heavy and funny.
Yes.
But it's a weird timeline of us as well. I'll probably never actually go back and re-listen to all of them. Yeah. But if I did, I would listen to myself grow over 12 years.
Right.
I would listen to my 2 partners grow over 12 years. I would, through emails and everything, I would listen to Scoops grow. We've had over 12 years, we have had wonderful things happen. We've also had tragic events happen. There have been marriages, there have been births. There have also been deaths. There have also been divorces. There have been Scoop marriages. There have been Scoop divorces. There are Scoop children.
One of which you named? Pause on that one. We got to talk about that.
There was one Scoop that got pregnant maybe a decade ago, and they casually asked us in an email if we had any suggestions for baby names, and we might have gone real strong on that. And so I believe we named that Scoop's baby Murray. Murray's a great name for a baby. That was our entire thing. Was Murray's a great name for a baby. We had songs written about Murray being a great name for a baby. We wrote songs about Murray being a great name for a baby. That went on for months.
Wow. You have a real effect on people's life.
I suppose so. For better or worse. Name your kid Murray.
That's so funny. Okay, so what is your creator's challenge for my audience?
Creator's challenge. So I, in all of my work and everything, I get to write a little bit. I get to, especially I'm a pretty decent punch up guy for all that kind of stuff.
Murray.
But I get, what's that?
Murray.
Name your baby Murray. So I get to. I'm fortunate enough. I get to write a little bit. So I would say, I think a lot of people misinterpret how hard it is to write a joke. Joke writing is as simple as anything else. It's something that you practice. So I would say your challenge is write 10 jokes, and they don't have to be 10 good jokes. They don't have to be long. They can be set up punchline. It can be built off of existing jokes. It can be pieces and parts of different jokes that you have heard over the years. Nobody's checking this for plagiarism. You're just doing this for yourself. So it can be pieces and parts of different jokes. Like if you have, if Bob Newhart back in the 80s was doing a monologue that you really liked a part of it, and you go like, those 3 words out of that Bob Newhart monologue have always been really funny to me. Pluck those 3 words out, put them into a new joke. And you can even do, if you really want to start at the very beginning, just start with, why did the chicken cross the road? Make the setup something easy. Make the setup something you've heard a billion times before, and now you're just thinking of new punchlines. And don't censor yourself. Don't really think, don't sit there and think like, oh, I have to wait until I come up with a punchline that makes me laugh. Like, no, it can be anything. Why did the duck cross its road? Or why did the duck cross the road? It needed to get some new shoes. That's fine. It's not funny, but it gives you that rhythm, and it starts getting you in that process. And the reason I say write 10 of them, write 20 of them, write 30 of them, or honestly, what I think the best thing to do is to every day, maybe right after lunch, write down 5 jokes. And then after you write down a lot of them, and after you kind of get that, I talked earlier about rhythm, after you get that rhythm in your head, well, now you're getting into it. And now once the rhythm kind of gets set, well, now I can start thinking about the subject. Now I can start thinking about how do I want this punchline? Do I want it to be a turn? Do I want it to be a continuation of what I'm already talking about? Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it wanted to go eat at a KFC. Well, now it's still not funny. We still haven't gotten to funny, but we have gotten to a little weird and a little off-putting. Yes. And that's something.
Yeah.
And so I would say...
Also, right, because, mine was, you said, why would the duck cross the road? I went to, because he was hungry for quackers. And it's like, because I told a lot of jokes to kids for a while. So I go to kind of PG-13 for that kind of joke. Whereas you go dark and morbid.
Sure.
And so it, which is cool. And part of, it reveals kind of what your... maybe not even taste, because quackers is not my taste in jokes, but it is my practice.
It's your voice a little bit.
Where I've talked to people the most, and so if I want to be telling older, more funny jokes, I need to practice something different.
Yeah. So I would just encourage people, sit down, write some jokes, and then when you start, if you get to the point where you start telling people some of those jokes, it is a different kind of fun to watch people laugh at a joke that you wrote. That is a whole, because we've all told jokes. We've all been at parties where people start telling silly jokes that they know and that kind of thing. We've all seen that group happen. We've been part of that group. We know what that is. When you start throwing your own jokes in there and they're getting the good reactions too, you're like, oh shit, that's funny.
I love it. Well, my add-on to the challenge is if you write a joke, then film it and tag Jacob_the_audio guy.
That's it. And Jacob the audio guy on everything. At Hey Scoops on everything for all of the Ice Cream Social stuff. At Pod Therapy guys for Pod Therapy. Tag us all. Write jokes. Yeah. It'll be great. And of course, tag Jessica.
Yes, please. Yes. Anything else you want to say? What do you want for people who are listening to know or do, or what do you wish for us at this moment?
Oh man, I wish everybody would just focus on having a nice life and not worry about everybody else's life. Live and let live, baby. I'm going back to my parents were hippies. When my parents have been divorced for most of my life, but when they got married outside, barefoot, flowers in my mom's hair, the whole thing. And I feel like I have gone back to my roots on that entirely. It is, I went and saw a show in Las Vegas the other night, Misbehave's Mavericks. Misbehave is a wonderful variety performer. She's performed all over the world. She has a show. It's on hiatus right now, but keep an eye out for it. Misbehave's Mavericks at the Plaza Showroom in downtown Las Vegas. Beautiful original theater. The address is literally #1 Las Vegas. It's crazy. It's where Vegas started. Wow. It's a curtain on the stage is older than most of your listeners. It's that type of place. Yeah. But it's so cool. And she opens the show and just, getting to know the audience, just the host talking back and forth with the audience and, just by round of applause, who's rich, who's doing okay, who's poor, who is gay, who's straight. And then she just gets to the one where who doesn't give a shit what anybody is doing with their own lives anymore as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. And the crowd just loses their mind. Yeah. And that is beautiful to me. The live and let live, my pure hippie roots, I love it. I don't want people to mess with me. I don't want to mess with other people. I want us to have a good time, and I want us to just do our thing.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel so schlucky just saying it that way, but I don't know how else to say it, and that's kind of where I'm at these days, which is just leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. Let's be friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
That's it.
I'm going to do the same.
Bingo.
Well, I adore you.
Thank you so much. I love you so much.
I
also love this show. When you first started doing this show, the first time I listened to an episode of you doing this show, I forget who was on it, but I just remember listening to it and going like, I never considered that you would be a good podcast host, and you are an excellent podcast host. You are a caring person, and most importantly, you are interested in what everybody says to you.
It helps that I get to ask people that I find really interesting and inspiring. But yeah, I do. I'm actually curious. I actually want to know.
You are so much better at that aspect of this job than I am. You are better at caring about people than I am.
I'll just take the compliment and say thank you very much. Thank you. Well, it is a delight to listen to you, and I'm glad that the internet has thousands of chances to do it, but I'm honored that this one was mine.
I am so thrilled. I'm so happy to do it. I was so thrilled when I saw your email asking to do it.
Yay! Well, Jacob Smith, thank you so much, and cheers to you, my friend.
Here's to you, my love.
Yes! Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Oh, that's good. I just finished my tumbler of vodka. This timed out perfectly.
Perfect. Join the community and share your creative challenges on Instagram and Facebook at Creators Cafe by Kika Labs. And also check out my website, kikalabs.com, KIKALABS.com, to sign up for the mailing list so you always know when a new podcast is released, and to check out my coaching and digital courses to help you be a more confident and joyful creator.